What's up, y'all? This is Ty. I am here to review Season 3, Episode 7 of Power Book 2 Ghosts. Cause it's a big, rich town. I just come from the poorest part. This is Episode 7. It is titled Deal or No Deal. And boy, it was really good. But you know what I gotta do before I get into this? Listen, I know I'm late again. This review. I know y'all tired of me saying this every time I put this review up. Oh, I'm supposed to have it up sooner. But listen, it's true. I've been doing a lot of things. I've been booked and busy. And this past Sunday, I was in Vernon, New Jersey, y'all. You see this shirt? I was doing, look, let me show you. See that shirt? I was doing the Spartan 5K run. We had to do like 20 obstacles. It was cold. It was raining. I was out there like, in the mud, doing barbed wire. I felt like I was on an episode of Survivor or something. I got my gold medal. I should have brought my medal from completing the 5K. We were on the monkey bars. We were climbing stuff. It was mud. We was going up hills, down hills, up hills, jumping over fire, all types of stuff. It was really dope. But that ain't what this video is about. I'll talk about that in another video. But let me give a shout out to my lovely subscribers. I thank you. Y'all keeping the channel going and growing. Shout outs to folks like Barbie, J, Lamont Simpson, Tayans World, Quentin Baptiste, Old Boogie Baby, Kryptonian Black, The R.C. Kroger, and Savannah Rivers Amore Dupree. Shout outs to all you wonderful people. So now let's get down to business. Let's get down to this review. This was a good episode. Now you see they done made a big mess here where we have a war going because the Russians shot up where we last left off. The Russians have shot up Lorenzo's funeral because they think, because Drew went and retaliated and killed one of the Russians when we know it wasn't the Russians that killed his daddy. That was Monet setting it up by having what's his name? Gordo? Having Gordo kill Lorenzo for her, which that wasn't, to me, that was a stupid move. That was too much. That was too much. Because especially with what happened in this episode, I thought that move was a little stupid and too close to home. Because we see in this episode, they got to try to find a way to figure all of this out because now the heat is on them because the Russians are retaliating and attacking. So Monet calls a meeting. Everybody's there. Tariq is there. Kane is there. Braden and Effie. And Tariq is all sourpuss, not saying much. And I thought that scene was funny. Monet was like, why he so quiet? Kane said, well, he mad because, he found his girl got killed with her. She said, listen, you got to stop acting like a bitch. Man up. Let us know what's going on. And she said, y'all ends, get on up out of here. And I thought that scene was funny because then Kane said to Braden, oh, you are in too. And he was like, oh, yeah, like he just wanting to be down, wanting to be cool. I thought that was a little humorous. But anyway, Monet is having this conversation when he said, listen, because they think Lauren is dead. We know Lauren's not dead. She's like, listen, that was for the best. Man up. I need you to use your brain. Put your thinking cap on. How are we going to stop the Russians from coming down on us? This is too much. This is crazy. And that's what I said. She should have, it was too much. It's too crazy. But see, this was Drew being irrational and attacking the Russians to avenge his father, but not knowing that that's not what happened, that the Russians didn't have anything to do with that. Tariq does come up with a very good plan. And that plan is to, let's set them up. Let's find out where their drop is. Get that, make an anonymous tip to the police. I'll get that tip. What he did is he had that go through Tate. And, Tate's numbers are low. He's low on the poll. So this is a good look for him to make it look like he got this tip on a drug bust to bring down the Russians. So that will slow things down till they can think of something and get some things in motion. So that was really good and really clever. But in that, like I said, with her doing all this, with Monet's moves by having Gordo kill Lorenzo, that was stupid to me. And I'm going to tell you why. Because then we see her go to him and tell him, stay away from Drew, because now she doesn't want him to let Drew know, because their relationship is heating up and steaming up. So she's like, listen, I don't want them together now, which was, she's telling him that, and he's like, I'm not going to stay away from him, because you and I, we got a little secret, And you and I are the only two that know, so I'm not going to say anything. And if she Monet is real manipulative. She's a cold woman, boy. She's a cold. Mary J. We got to give it up for Mary J. She's playing this part. As the seasons got on, she's gotten better and better. She's just ruthless on this. You know, I'm a Mary J. Mary J. Blige fan anyway. But on this show, she's killing it. So like I said, Monet, just these decisions she's making. I'm like, all of this is kind of sloppy to me. Like, it's like that wasn't the way to do it, especially now, because now you gotta kind of fall in line. You can't stop him from having that relationship. And she tells Drew, listen, I'm gonna need you to be, I think this is gonna be a relationship that works well for you and all this good stuff. That's what she's telling him. And, just stick with it and be his ear, be his voice of reason. Because remember, his brothers were now saying, listen, something is up here. You got this war going. Now we want 50%. We want more. And, all of that is crazy. So now we see Monet going to Kai. Y'all know Kai. He's been wanting a piece of Monet. Her sons are against us, whatever. They're in the club. And I knew something was up. She's pretending like she's interested in being his partner and dealing with him and, all this. And he'll have her and, you have me, what you always wanted. And he all gassed up and happy about that. And then we see she tries to kill him. They get in a scuffle. And it looked like he was getting the best of Monet. And then Kane came in and killed him. And then she takes the Kai's phone, and she sends a text to make it look like, he has something to do with Lorenzo's death. This allows Drew to see this. So it looks like, and I said, okay, that was kind of clever. It looks like, he was the one who started all this and he tried to frame the Russians. Very clever, but I was like, But then what happens next is they take his head as an offering to the Russians for a truce, saying, listen, it wasn't us that killed your people. It was this dude. He set us up. He's trying to turn us against each other. So that may squash that. But now we have the issue with Drew in the bed with Gordo, and they're having all this lovey-dovey and, all this stuff. And he sees a text in his phone, and he in Gordo's phone, and he's like, hold on. You killed my father, and now he kills him in the shower. This is going to be a problem. That's why I said this was a stupid move, because now you may have beef with those families, because this is another Castillo that y'all have killed. First, it was their daddy. Now it's their brother. And that's that woman's son. Monet has already told the Castillos, the mom, that, Lorenzo had your husband killed. Now what's going to happen when she finds out? Now y'all got the son killed too? Y'all killed my son. So I think there's going to be a war between them or something like that. That's kind of crazy. But interesting. So I'm like, I don't know how she's going to pull all this off. But she's very manipulative. Look how she's consoling Drew and trying to, console him. And like, everything's going to be all right. And, I got you. When you are the mastermind behind this whole thing. That is all just crazy. So many twists and turns. We also saw in this episode, Diana and what's his name? Salim. He was trying to win her back. And shout outs to the young lady. That was doing the rapping. She's one of the students. I think her name is Shaniqua on the show, but that's light-skinned Keisha that plays her. She's rapping and at this little show, doing the little gigs. He gets up there and decides to do a poem, thinking that this is going to win Diana over. Salim does this poem, and he has a rose, and she's not feeling it. And he goes back. He said, I just poured my heart out to you. And she was like, that was corny. And so he says, so you messing with Tariq? Is it true you messing with Tariq? He said, I knew it was only a matter of time that you would, basically he said, it's a matter of time that you fall for some criminal, some drug dealing criminal, like it runs in your family. That's what you used to. And they have a few words, and he told her, you know what? Matter of fact, I know you selling drugs out of the shop, out of the store, the bookstore. And you know what? You up out of here. So he's like, you know what? I'm done with you. Because she didn't say, she said she didn't want no parts of him. He said, look, I'm done with you. So I was like, okay, he done stepped up. But see, she thought she was having these problems. Then she spoke to her mom. She spoke to Monet. Monet was ready, like, who hurt my baby? Let me come on up there. But Diana decides, she comes over to him. She found out some piece of information. He's a fraud. Come to find out, he doesn't come from the hood. He doesn't come from some single mother. He was adopted by two wealthy, rich parents, and she has the photos to prove it. So Hotep Salim Ashe Friedman is a fraud, and his real name, she exposed it, was Trevor Nelson. He's from Springfield, Maryland. He didn't grow up in no hood. He ain't no real Hotep. He's a real phony and a fraud. And it's funny because a lot of fans don't like that character. And if you go on Twitter, they call him all kinds of cornballs. Even before this, they were like, he can't be trusted. They felt like he was working undercover. And even Kane said it a few episodes back. Your name sounds made up. And guess what it is? He ain't no damn Celine Ashe Friedman. This is Trevor Nelson. So for that, he's corny for that. And I don't understand why you just can't be Trevor Nelson and embrace your blackness. Why you got to change your name and do all this phony stuff. Listen, you got adopted by the Drummonds, the rich Drummonds. You wealthy, whatever, come on, that it is what it is. You got a silver spoon in your mouth, whatever. Some of y'all won't catch the Drummonds reference. It is what it is. But, he's kind of corny for that. And I always said it was something suspicious about him. But I will admit, I did kind of feel sorry for him. I know his poem was corny and all that. But I will say, he was out of line at the repast when that was not the time or place. Time or place, you're going to diss her father at his repast. That was kind of stupid. Not saying he was wrong, but that was kind of stupid. And I think he does really like her, genuinely like her, but that was a stupid move. And then he poured his heart out, gave her the rose and did that corny poem, and she rejected that. Then that's when he, bucked up. You know what? And I know you selling drugs, like I said earlier. He said, I know you selling drugs in the shop, and I'm gonna take a pleasure in watching you squirm when I figure out what to do with it all. And you can't come back there no more. That was a corny move right there, because now you butt hurt. Because you knew she was selling drugs the whole time, Salim, Trevor, whatever the hell your name is. Now you mad because she dissed you. Now you mad. And I did feel bad for him, though, because he did generally like her. I do still kind of feel bad for him. But like I said, Diana came back. Diana was like, listen, bro, let me tell you what's going to really happen here. You, my brother, now that I know that you're Trevor Nelson, she had the prep school pictures. She had all that. She said, I will blow your fake Hotep ass up. What you going to do is give me what I want. You're going to give me a raise. You're going to give me more hours. You're going to give other people more hours. And you're going to fall back and shut up. And it's nothing he can really do. And I felt bad. I did feel a little bit bad for him. So he kind of had it coming, kind of, sort of. But I did feel bad for him. But she just... Did you have any feelings for him, though, Diana? Like, damn, did you like him a little bit? I mean, well, he did diss her father, but I'm like, I get it. But no, I thought that was crazy. So we going to see, like I said, I don't think this is over with Mr. Trevor Nelson, Salim, Ashim, whatever the hell his name is. I don't think it's over. I think he's going to be up to something else. I don't know. We'll see. What else is going on? We see that Lauren is still in communication with Tariq. She lets Tariq know that there's a RICO case being built against him. There's a RICO case being built against all of them. And they found a connection because they found out, they put Jenny and the crew have found a connection that these drugs are all tied in, because they decided to go spy at the Westons and realize at the Weston Corporation, and they realized that drugs are being sold there. They found something, the drugs, and they're able to connect it to the school and to all the other things. And they put that together. So they're building that RICO case, and they're ready to close in. And I was like, okay, this is interesting. And Tariq meets up with Lauren, and he tells her proof, because earlier he had a conversation with Effie, and Effie basically said he was weak and she had to do it because he would never do it. So that kind of allowed him to give that trust. That allowed Lauren to trust him now, like, okay, he's showing proof that he didn't try to kill me. And she's really going to be ride or die, because she's like, I can stall. She's the one that told him that Sachs is in on the RICO case. And she said, I can stall him and I can do all these things, just to, help the situation and help that situation out for you. And I'm like, okay, interesting. Very interesting right here. And I'm like, I don't know how this is all going to turn out because there's always so many twists and turns. Then we see in this episode that Kiki knows that Braden and Tariq are running drugs through the Weston company. But not only that, after Braden admits that to her when she says she knew already, Braden discovers that his uncle is running a Ponzi scheme in Weston Holdings, in the company. And this can put Tariq's trust fund, the Tejada's money, and other things in jeopardy. And I'm like, this is crazy that he discovers that. Now, Braden doesn't think that when he finds this information, he tells Kiki about it. She's like, oh, it's no big deal, whatever. And then Braden goes to tell his uncle, and his uncle says, yeah, it's true, but his uncle says, but I also know that he said, listen, this will keep the family and keep the company going great. And he said, you're not going to say nothing about this because you're running drugs through the business. And, he calls Kiki in, and come to find out Kiki knew all along about this Ponzi scheme. And they always knew that Braden and Tariq were running drugs through it. And they're like, that's great. This is with even that more money that helps cover things up. And then Braden feels betrayed because he's like, so Kiki, you used me. You ain't never liked me. And I thought she kind of came on to him a little too fast in the beginning. So he feels like, you never liked me. You used me. And she's like, no, in the beginning, yeah, but I really do like you, this, that, and third. So now he's in his feelings and he's like, screw you. He doesn't want anything to do with her. Speaking of that, we see Effie and Tariq's relationship over with. Pretty much she told him he was weak and soft, whatever. He told her she was pathetic and all that stuff. So they're mad with each other. But she's running low on funds. She got to pay for school. There's not enough drugs out there for her to sell. Kane promised her that he would give her a little cut, help her out. So Kane... she has a conversation with Kane, and I see little sparks going on here now. She has a conversation with Kane, and Kane says he could pay for her tuition. She says she didn't want his money. She'll figure it out. Then we see her at school trying to, she's in the office trying to look up her finances, see what the budget is, and the lady told her, oh, our records show that you've been paid for the whole school year. You paid her for a year. So you see her text Kane saying, I thought I told you mind your business. He wrote, you're welcome. So there seems to be a relationship building right there. Very interesting right there. We also see Davis, his brother gets out because of, the manipulation they had, and Sachs helping with all that. But Davis's brother, who was originally played by Redman, I wonder why he wasn't back this season. He is not too happy about all this because he's saying, I took the fall for you for a reason so you could stay clean. And now all this could be in jeopardy and you could end up getting arrested or whatever. What was the point? So that whole time of me being in there was for what? I did that for you and now you did something craziness to get me out. So he's like, you know what? I don't want to deal with you. He's out. I'm free. Stay away from me. So that was interesting. The dynamics with them. That was very interesting. I'm like, okay. And then Sachs' situation with Sullivan is interesting. He's still pissed off, but he's still working with her and playing both sides. I don't think that's going to go so well for him either. Now, we have the family, the Tejadas, towards the end of the episode, coming together, eating dinner as a family. Everybody sitting around the table. And in come the po-po. Here they come. And they make an arrest. They arrest Diana because they've figured out that she's selling the drugs in the school. Remember, they got the video surveillance of Effie going up to the rooftop. So they've connected everything. And the RICO case, they're starting it up. And the first one they took was Diana. And, this is Diana, it's the first time her being arrested. Monet was not pleased about that. And that was crazy. But that is the episode. Lots to go. Lots went on. So many things. I can't wait for next week. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. I can't wait for this week. It's Friday. It's going to be good. I can't wait to see how they resolve all this. It looks like Effie's going to get arrested next week because now they got to get they got to figure out this whole how to get ahead of this RICO case and how they can manipulate it. So this show always has these twists and turns, and you never know how things are going to go. So that's going to be really interesting. I can't wait for that. What were your thoughts? I thought this was a good episode. Like I said, Monet's moves, I don't think having Gordo was a smart thing. Having him kill Lorenzo was that smart. And then now have Drew kill Gordo, because it's just too close. And I feel like Drew's going to still eventually find out the truth. So that was interesting. It was so good. It's getting good. It's interesting. And then we didn't see no Noma or her people in this episode, but we know that's going to come back too. All of that's going to happen too, and of trying to figure out a way to get from under her. And I still want Noma and Monet to meet. I want to know how that's going to happen. But that's all I have for now. Tell me your thoughts. Did you enjoy this episode? Can't speak. Tell me your thoughts. Did you enjoy this episode? Let a brother know. That's all I got. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.